A deadline is fast approaching on whether or not to move the U.S. Embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, the country's capital. On December 1st, President Trump has to either announce a move or delay the action by another 6 months.
To this day, 50 years after the liberation and reunification of Jerusalem, the state of Israel, one of America's strongest allies, is the only nation in the world in which the American government refuses to locate its embassy in the host nation's chosen capital.
Congressman Ron DeSantis organized a hearing on the issue this week on Capitol Hill. Critics believe that this move would hurt the peace process between Israelis and Palestinians. We're joined by Congressman Ron DeSantis, a Republican from Florida, the chair of the House Oversight Committee's National Security Subcommittee. Have you talked to the president? Do you expect him to finally lift the waiver and approve the move?
Well, I spoke to the White House last week in anticipation of the hearing. They were actually very supportive of the hearing. The president remains committed to relocating our embassy to Jerusalem, but I didn't receive any commitments about when that will be done, whether there will be another waiver, and if so, how many more waivers. I just thought it was important that still this year, 2017, 50 years after Jerusalem was liberated, that we keep a spotlight on this issue.
Given the fact that Presidents Bush, Clinton, Obama all said that they would like to move the embassy to Jerusalem, but it never happened, how likely is this?
I think if you look back at that, people are saying, oh, we can't move the embassy because the sky will fall, it'll endanger the peace process, all this other stuff. The fact of the matter is, for 25 years, this peace process has failed because Palestinian Arabs do not recognize Israel's right to exist as a Jewish state. So I think those excuses are kind of tired at this point. We keep hearing why you can't do it, and eventually that just becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So those old excuses, I think, are over. I think moving it would actually have a positive impact on the facts on the ground there. But the bottom line is, if that's the line of thinking that continues, then you're not really in favor of relocating the embassy.
The Arabs told President Trump that this would cause unrest in the region. I'm showing a map right now to our viewers of where Tel Aviv is located in comparison to Jerusalem. Do you not believe that this could be a real threat?
I took the trip there in March to look at the existing sites that we have in Jerusalem, and I'm convinced that if you did it right using one of the existing sites, that there is adequate security, and in fact, I think potentially could be much better security than what you have in Tel Aviv right now with the embassy in a very populated part of town. At the end of the day, though, you can't let some of the most extreme elements in the Middle East veto American policy. When the Jerusalem Embassy Act was passed in 1995, the waiver authority there was only if America's national security interests were jeopardized by moving it. It did not give Jordan or Saudi Arabia or any other country a veto over where we locate our American embassy.
Thank you so much for joining us, Congressman Ron DeSantis of Florida.
Thank you.